mostly between the trim and right here. Should be that easy. Okay. This episode, we're gonna try to do a little bit of rust repair on my old C10. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I am Joby. This is the Naturalgearhead Garage channel, and this is my 1981 Squarebody C10 that has been plagued with rust. As you can see, that even the rocker panel does not exist. It is naturally deleted on this truck. But most of what we're going to do today is going to be on the bed. Let me show you what we got going on. On this side, behind the tire, we've definitely got some issues going on right here in this area, if you can see it. It's mostly between the trim and right here. A little bit of problems going on there, as in it doesn't exist anymore. But when I'm driving around town, we've been cruising this thing around, this trim's just flopping in the wind. So I'm gonna take this trim off, and then we've got this repair panel right here. And it looks like, look how easy that looks. You can basically just glue that on, it's done. No, not really. So I'm not gonna use this whole panel. It goes all the way around by the tail light. I think we're just gonna try to cut this panel right in here and just go down and just basically cut out what's bad and cut it out on the new one and weld her in. That's my plan. I don't know, I've never done this job before, so it's gonna be new, and I'm sure it's gonna go smooth, because that's usually how it goes around here. Yeah, probably not. Let's get this in the shop and start cutting and doing some welding and some measuring and some figuring, and hopefully it doesn't go too sideways. So we got it in the shop, and again, I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. But first thing I'm gonna do is get that trim off. Then I wanna come in with our new metal. I'll set it up here and make a couple marks to know how much coverage area we have for the new metal, how high up that will come, because I don't wanna start cutting this out and realize, oh, I cut too much, the new piece won't even cover it. So I'll make those marks, stay below those marks, and then I'll just kind of come in and start cutting out this metal and get as much of the rust out as we can. And I'm hoping there's no Bondos. It feels like there might be Bondo in here. We don't want to get into Bondo. Hopefully there isn't any, because welding to that's a problem, trying to weld around Bondo and all that kind of stuff. So that's the plan. And then when I'm all done getting that all figured out and our rust out of the way, I'll probably put the panel back up here, make my final cut through this and through this. That way they match this piece. The rest, whatever's left in here, will fall out. And we'll have our patch panel, and we'll stick it up there and start tacking it in. Should be that easy. Okay, let's get the trim off. You can tell this trim is not in the best of shape, but it is in good enough shape for what we're going for here. So we're definitely not replacing it. We're hanging on to that. But this lip looks pretty good. Not too bad. A lot better than the other side, that is for sure. All right, let's place this up here and start marking stuff. Okay, so that does not fit awesome around the tail light. Fits okay up here, I think. I don't know, there's nothing really to go off of. I feel like that's about where we want to be. All right, we're gonna make a couple marks just to, I'm not even sure this is making a, is this making a mark? I feel like it is. Is it? It doesn't look like it's, yep, that didn't do anything. Okay, different Sharpie. A new Sharpie, I think, should be right on that edge-ish. I mean, it seems about right. I don't know. Yep, that looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna make a line here as a do not cross line. Okay. All right, already stuff falling out. What is it? That's Bondo. Okay, cool. I think that's in here. So that's probably, oh yeah. All right, so that's our line. So we're cutting it. There's not much to weld to there. We'll just cut that right. Dang. We might have to cut it all the way up here, maybe just under that line. And then I'm thinking for now, we're just gonna, I don't know, come right back in this area, just come straight down. And if that works out, then we're good. We'll just not mess with this backside, or actually we'll maybe come in here a little shallow. And if that's good, we'll cut that panel a little farther back. Because there's bubbling all down in here, but looking from the backside, it's solid. So hopefully that's all okay. And normally there's structure in here, like in your wheel well, that holds all this. That's gone on mine. So we have that. Hopefully that's strong enough. If it's not, then maybe I'll weld a little brace inside, a little bar. We'll do the best we can, but for now, we're just gonna start cutting and just feel it out. I don't know. See how it goes. Okay, all right. We got that all cut out, and looking at this piece on the backside, she was in rough shape. You could see that these big boils and pits out here were almost all the way through. They were really deep, and they would come through very soon. This piece right here is the structure I was telling you about that is missing and would have traveled this whole area in here, and it's gone. So it completely rotted off long ago. But you can see the metal where we're at up in here all looks pretty good and solid. It's solid here. I think we're good there. We might run into an issue here because I'm about as high as we can get, and that's thin and feels like there's some Bondo in here and obviously more rust. So we might have to buy this. There's another panel that they make. It's an arch panel. If we need to, we could try to make some metal for this, or buy that next arch panel piece and cut it out and just weld in what we need here. We'll cross that road when we get to it, but these pieces are fairly inexpensive, the patch panels, because they are a lot of work to put in. But for now, I think we're looking pretty good. So my plan is, whether it works or not, I don't know, so don't roast me, but take this piece that we were saying earlier, we'll mount it up, line it up right where it was before, and then I'm just gonna make a cut. Hopefully, I'm thinking through both panels, and my theory is that would line up perfectly besides the width of the blade, which is what I need to weld it back together anyway. Because I feel like if I cut along this line, I get a little bit wonky. You can see how it's wonky all in here. Then our panel isn't gonna line up just perfect. So I figure if I cut them together, this is my theory, if I cut them together and I get a little, whatever, it's gonna line up with each other. At least it makes sense in my head. I guess we're gonna figure it out. So let me start getting some magnets and some clamps or something and try to get these to go together, and then we'll make the cut. We'll see what happens. Cross your fingers. I know I'm crossing mine. Oh, AMD. This is an AMD panel. Pretty good panel. All right. Time to cut it up. So this is clamped. We're clamped all down in here. I got a magnet here, which isn't doing a whole lot. It's going to get tricky in here because I need as much metal as possible. So I feel like I need to cut it right on the edge of this. But down in here, it doesn't matter so much. So I want to cut just below the edge of this and cut them both together. And just behind this silver line, which this silver line is the cutoff that we already made. So there's missing material out here. So I want to cut just behind that line so we can pick up both pieces of sheet metal. And hopefully that'll match up really nice. And we'll see how this goes, because I don't know. I have my doubts. But we're going to just give it a shot and see what happens. And if it's not good, we'll fix it later. Side note, I don't recommend wearing shorts whenever you're using cutoff wheel because it hurts really bad. But it's Florida, it's 1,000,000 degrees in my shop, and I'm just gonna have to live with the pain and just keep cutting because it is too hot down here to be wearing pants. Well, let me tell you, this straight line that I couldn't see underneath there, you can see we got a little bit of a curve there. It's not quite straight. I drew a straight line here. You can see this line Nice. Over here, not so much. I should have drew a straight line. Apparently, I'm not very good with the cutoff wheel when it comes to straight lines without a reference line. So use a reference line next time. The thing is, it should still match and line up because we cut them together. Even though it's wonky, it still lines up nice. A little bit here where I messed up, we got a pretty good sized gap. I'm hoping we can bridge that gap with the weld. But everything else looks to be nice and tidy. Look at that. Fits up nice, even though it's not straight. But neither is the truck, so it's gonna be fine. Let's just clean up some of this metal and some of this metal and get the welder out and start tacking this thing together. Go from there, one step at a time. I'm just gonna use a drill and a wire wheel to clean this paint off and get ready for our welds. I'll probably hit this too and just see what's under there. It's gonna fall off anyway. Now, again, I don't know if you can tell, but I am not a body guy. And this line looks good from here. So, just saying. Don't beat me up too much. It's gonna be just fine. Okay, here we go. I've got it pretty much where we want it. I'm just gonna pull it into place, tack it, tack it, tack it, get a few tacks, and just get this thing kind of tacked into place, and then we're gonna go from there and just work it real slow so we don't warp anything. And just not look at this area. All right, so we got that piece all tacked in. She's still pretty warm. I've been moving around, just bip, 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 all over the place. We're gonna let that cool down, and I'm gonna hop in the Jeep probably with the family and go get some Chick-fil-A because I am hungry, it is hot, and sounds like everybody else is hungry. So we'll let this cool down, and we'll come back to it and revisit this and hopefully get it finished up. So we're back from filling our bellies at the Chick-fil-A, and it is cooler out, which is nice. Now, I don't think I'm gonna get this all completely finished up, but I wanna get some more welds in here now that it's nice and cool. You can see there's some play down here because we don't have that structure that would be spot welded to on the inner side. So what I'm gonna do is take some rod. If I can find something a little smaller, I will. This is 5/16. I just seen this laying over there. And I'm gonna weld it to the inside of this, up to the bottom of the bed on one of these supports, and that'll support this and stiffen this up real nice. And that'll be done. And then this area, I don't know, I may order that wheel arch for this side. Let me show you what those look like real quick. This is the wheel arch repair panel for the driver's side over there. So they are specific left and right because the arches are a little bit different. But this will give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about. Now this piece on Summit Racing is like 22 bucks. So it's pretty affordable for that much metal that's already shaped and ready to go. But it gives you an idea of how it'll cover that area I'm talking about. So if I order another one of these, I can either just cut out what I need and just weld it in and patch that. You can see we got a little bit of a rust hole here. I don't know if you can see it for sure, but a little bit of a rust hole here, a little bit of bubbling here. So maybe we'll replace this, but when you do that, there's a whole lot of spot welds and stuff going through here, attaching it to this inner wheel well, because there is an inner wheel well here. It's not rusted out yet. So I don't know if I'm gonna get into that or just cut this out and do what we need and continue on. But that's what I was saying with the wheel arch patch panel. And that little bit of welding puts quite a bit of heat into these panels. It's just so thin, so I try to space it around and just go slow with it. Let it cool down. I've seen people use a rag and cool it, kind of quench it, but I like to let it just cool down. It only takes a couple minutes. Just let it sit. You can feel it's hotter here than it is here where we started. And I just kind of, don't put your hand where you welded. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna burn yourself. Just putting it out there. Don't be dumb. If you're gonna be dumb, be smart about it. Does it make sense? Makes sense to me. Made sense before I said it. All right, so let that cool a little bit. While that's cooling, I'm gonna look for some smaller rod as opposed to this. If not, we're using this, so see what we can find. All right, so here's where I came up with some 1/4-inch round steel that I had laying on the shelf over there instead of that 5/16 stuff I had in the first place. So bent it up a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up some metal so we can stiffen this up and start tacking this in and getting this all welded up. And then we'll come back. This is just about cool. And we'll hit some more welds in here. It's just a long process, but you gotta go slow or you're gonna warp this and you're gonna have big problems. So, not that it's gonna be perfect anyway. So, start on this. What we came up with in here, take a look. Basically gonna attach, this is the bottom of the bed. One of the bed supports, we'll attach it there. It goes into an existing hole, we'll weld that in. And just down here, we cleaned off a spot on the inner part of this repair panel. We'll weld it in here. We'll weld it up there. That should give us a nice support. And we'll see how it turns out. All right, we got that welded in, that support, and this is solid now. All right, so now that that's welded in, I'm gonna come back. This is all cooled down. It's hot down here because we put some heat in it, trying to get that 1/4-inch rod welded. So we won't do nothing there, but this is all nice and cold. We'll kind of start over here, bounce around, and get some more of this welded in. A little bit of stuff in there. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh my goodness, okay. All right, yep. How much is in there? All right, we'll just stop there. That'd be all right. Okay, I think that's good for now. There's only a couple little spots left, and this will be fully welded in. I still got to figure out how I want to do this and finish it out. I don't know, the way the truck looks, I don't know if you've seen the Jeep episode. Whenever I did the stitches, I might want to do stitches or grind this down and putty it and make it decent, or just knock it down a little bit and leave it, or just leave it like this. I'm not sure how I want to finish this yet, but we're not ready to finish yet anyway because we don't have the piece for this. Because I am going to get, I think, that centerpiece for 20 bucks so that I can either do this whole thing and finish out all this, or just do this piece, whatever. I have options, but I do want to repair this. But for now, since we got our support in, this is welded almost completely in. I got a little bit more tacking to do. I'm gonna go ahead and get the trim fitted and start running some screws in there and get the trim on, see how that looks, and see where we're at from there. Okay. It's actually not bad. We gotta straighten out this piece. This thing is, okay, stand by. I gotta pound this out a little bit. She's a little bit rough shape here. I don't know if you can, yep, you can see it. All right, let's knock that out. Wow, she's rough. That's better. Woo! She's rougher than a corn cob. Ow! Yeah! Now my finger's a little flatter. Golly. Looks a lot better. Oh yeah. Now we got something to work with. Something like that. Yep, gonna need a center punch. Where did that screw? Oh, all right, we're falling apart. Let me get a center punch. Ha! How you like me now? Yeah, 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 yeah. You want to really get it in there. All right, now we're talking. Screw's gonna go right in now. Here we go. Safety squints. I don't have my glasses at the moment. Boy, that new metal, whew, must be American made. All right, that's one. Woo-wee! Better center punch it. We know what happened the last time. Yeah, 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 yeah. I might have put some washers on there. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make, since this hole basically rotted off the trim, I might go ahead and make another hole, a fresh one. So I got an extra screw sitting right here. Center punch. All right, here we go. Yeah, turn up the clutch. Oh, turn down the clutch. There we go. Yeah, I like that. All right. All right, all right, all right. Woo! Let's step back and look at this for a second. Pull this off there. Oh, yeah. That is way better than the missing area here, and it's solid besides that little guy right there, but we are going to fix that. We'll come back to this, but the trim is in, mounted, looks nice. Wait to paint this and figure out what to do with all the welds, but for now it is in, it is solid. Our support is in and welded. We'll get the other piece in so we can repair that. Then we'll move to the other side. Just show you the other side real quick in case you're curious about, does it look the same as this side? No, it doesn't. So this side does have a similar situation going on right in here, right in this area. And it's now a little bit down here. But mostly, here's our issue. Might be something going on, I'm not. Yep, there's definitely, okay, yeah, there's definitely some action going on here. Hey, look, that's not too bad. It's not, not great, but it looks like we're solid in here, just like the other side was, so we might be able to do almost the exact same repair, but we do have damage here also, but I think let's just look down here a little. Yep. So this side has a little more extensive damage in this area, as you can see. It's just, it's flaking off just a little bit. Like if you look real close, you can see this flake. Got a little hole here. So this will need probably that whole panel. And down into here it's bubbling. I'm not sure if we're going to deal with that at all. This side does have the gas tank because the other side, this is a dual tank truck, but I took the tank out on that side. So when we're welding in here, we got to be careful because the tank is right there. So we're going to have to be careful a little bit on this side, but we may have to use that whole piece to fill this in, and then that lower piece to fill that in like we did on the other side and get this side repaired. I wanted to show you on the front side here, you can see the support. This is kind of what we mimicked in the back. So they have it on the front side to support this piece right here, and that's what we mimicked in the back over there to give it some support. We'll probably have to do the same thing on this side since all that structure is gone, so we'll probably add a support right here, just like we did on the other side. So that means I'm gonna have to run down and buy some more 1/4 inch round steel rod so that I can weld it in when I get to it over there, because I am out. I don't have any more 1/4 inch rods, so I have to get some more of that. But for now, this side of the truck is looking way better. We got our panel we gotta wait on here. We'll get that welded in. But for now, our trim isn't gonna fly all over the place when I'm going down the highway, just flopping in the wind, trying to tear itself off. So that's nice. I'll get the other side fully repaired, and we'll come back in that future video and try to match this patina and see if we can make all that disappear and make it look nice. If you like this truck and you like the content and you want to see how we match the patina in the future, consider subscribing to the channel, share it with your friends, like the video. That really does help the algorithm pick it up. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.